dramatically eliminating everyone at the top of China's military. Over the past few years, Xi Jinping has purged nearly everyone on China's Central Military Commission. Like I said, it's like the American version of Joint Chief of Staff, the highest military leadership body in the country. Just last year alone, Xi Jinping removed 8 generals, including the second general in the country, so the guy who was right below Zhang. Now, before this week, everyone was speculating that it was probably Zhang behind all the purges, not Xi Jinping himself. But now, Zhang himself is gone, and it makes you question what is happening, right? So let's look at one of the stories that kinda gives us some details as to what happened and why Zhang was suddenly removed from his post. Now, I do want to put a disclaimer here because this story sounds crazy, and the only reason I'm sharing it with you guys is because the author of the story, or the person who shared the story, well, they announced Zhang's arrest before Chinese officials actually announced it, which is kinda interesting. I don't think there was a big difference in time, but she was few hours ahead of the official announcement. And that's exactly why I want to share this story. I don't know how true this is, okay? So I'm gonna put that out there before I even read it. Alright, let's take a look. The story comes from Shang Yu, and she's a Chinese-Canadian human rights activist. According to her, on January 19th, so a few days before the actual announcement was made public, a friend of hers that she identified as Mr. X, we'll just call him the informant. This informant informed her that Zhang Yuzhao has been arrested and something major might have happened within the CCP. At the time, she was too busy to publish this call, but later down the line, she did publish the transcript of this phone conversation. Mr. X, who's her informant, says, Zhang and Liu, that's the other guy who was part of the military commission, both of them were preparing to move against Xi Jinping on the evening of January 18, 2026, Beijing time. That day, Xi Jinping was planning to stay at a hotel in Western Beijing. In recent years, Xi has had no fixed residence. He changes locations every few days. Zhang and Liu plan to arrest Xi Jinping with the operation scheduled for the evening of January 18th. However, the plan was leaked 2 hours before the action. Xi was at the hotel that day. They believed it would be easier to capture him there since Xi often stays at the hotel and then moves to other locations. He rarely stays in one place for 2 consecutive nights. Online speculation later suggested that Xi deliberately used this as bait to draw Zhang out, and that interpretation may be correct, or is partly correct. After receiving the tip-off 2 hours in advance, Xi immediately left the hotel and quietly arranged counter-arrest operations. Zhang's side did not know the information had already been leaked to Xi and proceeded as planned, dispatching advanced personnel. A gunfight broke out at the hotel between Zhang's people, who had arrived already, and forces arranged by Xi. 9 of Xi's personal security guards were killed, while dozens of Zhang's people were killed. This is when Shang Yu, who's the human rights activist, asked, where were Zhang's people at the time? Were they deployed in one location or stationed separately? The informant replies, that wasn't told to me, but the key issue is that Xi was staying there, and the troops had also been deployed. Because Xi often stays at the hotel and suddenly moves elsewhere, it was hard to pin him down in one place. Informant goes on to say, all I know is that Xi learned about it 2 hours in advance, and he immediately moved to arrest Zhang and Liu. Their family members were also all detained at the first opportunity. Then the question is, why plan something so big and not make arrangements for the family? The informant answers, Shang and Liu believed the operation would succeed, and whether or not they protected their families didn't really matter. If they had made arrangements in advance, it would have exposed the operation. Besides, Xi has already planted numerous informants around their families anyway. Now, it is a long conversation, so you can see the whole thing on your screen, or I'll link it down below, but I'm just gonna now read the important parts. Later in the call, informant says, what I heard is that this incident badly frightened Xi. His mother and sister were informed, were also terrified. They are staying at Shenzhen guest house. Security measures were immediately stepped up, and the entire guest house is now under lockdown with heavy guard outside. What drove Shang to rebel? Because as we know, this guy was pretty close with Xi Jinping. He was, the informant answers, he was likely forced into it. Xi Jinping has been continuously purging people. No one can remain genuinely loyal to him anymore. So this becomes a vicious cycle. She is extremely suspicious and narrow-minded, trusting no one. People around him live in constant fear, and more fearful they are, the more cautious they become. The more cautious they appear, the more abnormal they seem, and the easier it is for something to go wrong. Moreover, the CCP system is essentially a black box, so everyone is constantly scheming against and guarding against one another. Now that part is true. The politics of China is a lot more secretive than pretty much any other country in the world, any other open country, right? I'm sure North Korea is even more secretive, but China is on another level. Russia doesn't even come close to it. That's why we don't know if this story is true or not, or how much of this is true. But it does sound really dramatic. Now, another interesting thing to talk about is the wording of the announcement that the Chinese government put out. And we'll listen to that in just a second. But another interesting thing is also the time between the announcement and the arrest. Or I guess the other way around, the time between the arrest and the announcement. Because previously, when they carried out similar purges last year, usually CCP took months to announce the arrest. There were rumors online and they would go on for months before we would get an official announcement. This time, it seems like the announcement came just days after the actual arrest or actual investigation began. So, yeah, now let's take a listen to the announcement.
Member of the Politburo of the CPC Central Committee. Zhang Yuxia, Vice Chairman of the Central Military Commission, Member of the Central Military Commission. Joint Staff Department of the Central Military Commission. Chief of the Joint Staff Department. Liu Zhenli is suspected of serious violations of discipline and law. Upon deliberation by the CPC Central Committee, it has been decided to place Zhang Yuxia and Liu Zhenli under investigation.
Now, the Chinese official statement accuses Zhang of seriously violating political discipline, organizational discipline, discipline of honesty, clean governance, mass discipline, and work discipline. It sounds like a lot of discipline, so let me simplify it for you. That's basically CCP language for he did something that Xi Jinping didn't like, and she's not gonna tell us what he did. Then few days after this arrest announcement, Wall Street Journal dropped a bombshell report. They said that Zhang was allegedly arrested for leaking Chinese nuclear secrets to the CIA. Definitely a huge story, so let's look at it. According to the report, this information comes from a briefing that was attended by China's highest-ranking military officers. This briefing actually took place before the public announcement that we saw earlier. In this briefing, CCP told everyone attending that Zhang was being investigated for forming political cliques, which is basically saying that he was trying to get people to support his cause so he could do something. Basically trying to form a coalition inside the CCP, and according to the officials, major officials, this undermines party unity and it's against the CCP law. On top of that, he was also being investigated for abusing his authority within the top military body of the CCP, which is known as the Central Military Commission. They basically give out contracts. If they need something built or if they need to hire something, make a factory, this body decides who gets the contract, and they're basically accusing him of corruption, maybe just giving the contract to his family or people who are paying it. But on top of all this, the most shocking deal was, of course, in this meeting, everyone was told that Zhang had leaked core technical data on China's nuclear weapons to the US. This is the news that got everyone talking about this exclusive report that the Wall Street Journal got. Now, here's why I think this report, or at least this part of the report, is probably not true. Because think about it. Imagine you're a PLA general who's sitting in this briefing, and you just heard that the top military general in the country, Xi Jinping's childhood friend, was arrested. And now, you're being told that he was a CIA spy. Are you going to tell that to a Western publication? I'm guessing not. I'm guessing no one's gonna leak that. What's more likely, not just according to me, according to a lot more people who watch China a lot closely, that this was probably an authorized leak. Governments do this all the time, and they do it everywhere. They plant a story with the media to control the narrative. Now, it seems CCP's goal with this leak was just to control the narrative overseas. Because it seems Chinese state media, the newspapers that the Chinese people actually read, well, that media is just listing the 5 crimes that we already covered. He was just not following the discipline of the party. That's what they are talking about. They don't even mention the nuclear secrets, or they don't even mention the CIA. That detail only appeared in foreign media. If Zhang was really selling nuclear secrets to America, wouldn't that be the headline inside China? wouldn't the CCP want to humiliate him domestically? The fact that they're keeping the CIA story for foreign audiences only suggests that it's a propaganda designed to make Zhang look like a traitor for everyone overseas and likely deflect attention from what actually happened. Maybe some coup or something like that did happen, and they don't want foreign parties looking into that. Now, this may not entirely be over, because this Zhang guy did have a lot of people who supported him, civilians and, of course, people in the military. And I'm sure Xi Jinping would want to basically, take care of everyone who's not loyal to Xi. Just recently, we saw CCP increase security near Tiananmen Square. Basically, when they announced that he was arrested, there were police officers and barricades being put up around the main square, and everything was on high alert. I'm guessing they were expecting some people to protest or get mad, because I don't know if you guys remember, if you have seen over Tiananmen Square, you would know that a lot of the protests back in 1989 started when one of the more popular leaders of the CCP died, a person who basically wanted to help the young generation and open up the party and the country a lot more and quicker. And when he died, it kind of seems like the young people lost all hope of the country getting better for them. And that's why they started protesting at Tiananmen Square. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend you guys go check it out. But clearly this story is not over. Investigation is still ongoing. Zhang Yuzhao is not removed from the website, even though they have made the announcement about the investigation, meaning his picture and his name is still part of the CCP website, which is kind of rare, at least based on the reports I'm seeing. So it seems maybe something could happen. So be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. My name is Sam, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. One of the problems with making videos like these, where we show a lot of drone strikes, even if no human or Russian soldiers are getting hurt in the video, YouTube usually demonetizes or restricts our videos. In fact, in the last week, we had 4 of our videos get demonetized. According to YouTube, showing drone strikes or even footage from the front lines is not advertiser friendly, and that's why the videos are restricted. But this is the reality of modern warfare, and this is the war Ukrainians are fighting and trying to survive. So we believe it's important to cover this up, and that's why we launched our own platform, Basics Insider. We built it from scratch, so we don't have any restrictions. We don't have to blur drone strikes, we don't have to blur frontline footage, and we don't have to blur Russian air bases getting destroyed. On top of this, we actually don't run any ads on the site. That way, we don't have to censor ourselves just because advertisers are not happy about what we cover. We don't fund the site through ads. We fund it through your support. So if you're someone who's interested in coverage like this and you want to watch our videos uncensored and get bonus content that we just cannot upload here on YouTube, then definitely go join us at basicsinsider.com. You can also click the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen. By joining, you can watch all the content that we have already uploaded and all the videos we will upload in the future. On top of that, you'll be supporting our coverage and supporting our channel. So thank you so much.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Take a look at this Kung Fu master on camera and watch what happens when the camera turns into a real fight. The reaction of Manny Pacquiao's wife said everything before the fight even reached its peak. This was the moment when the legendary Manny Pacquiao delivered a real masterclass inside the ring against a man many people genuinely believed was superhuman. Meet DKU, the so-called reincarnation of Bruce Lee from South Korea. His videos went viral across the internet, spreading all over the world. Viewers were stunned by his lightning-fast fast movements, sharp strikes, and seemingly inhuman speed. Fans claimed his reflexes were unreal, comparing them to those of a mongoose. Some even said he was untouchable. DKU built an entire image around this myth. He traveled the world, hosting martial arts seminars, demonstrating his techniques, teaching philosophy, and charging serious money for it.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have to stop them from securing the mission area. No, it's Galacta, daughter of Galactus, you idiot!
Healing power. Hey, hitting real hard. My cosmic might returns. Quantum magic. How stronger together. Healing power. We are in this together. My step. This time I need healing. Hey, hitting real hard. The cosmos heals me. Just the boost I need. Give it never fall! Born again!
Disappear!
And dangerous! I have risen.
Follow this enemy.
Quantum magic. Just the boost I need. I feel better already. This time I need healing. You are now alone. Real hard. The cosmos heals you. You are safe now, my friend. Healing power. Ooh-wee, that hit the spot. I feel better already. Go get it, fool!
I am barely harmed.
May we, the cosmos heals you. Oh yeah, baby. Good stuff. Give it never fall! Stronger together. This time feel my power. The cosmos heals you. Just the boost I need. Armed and dangerous! Again! Destiny awaits.
Only 60 seconds left.
I don't think I like these odds.
A feast for my crows! Feast, my crows.
Quantum magic. Born again!
Take a look behind you.
Healing power.
I am very harmed.
We are in this together.
Down to 30 seconds.
Second chance chance is over. Quantum
Time
magic.
is against them.
Some assistance, please.
The final 10 seconds.
Disappear!
Let's keep fighting until we have winners.
I'm opening a portal. Magneto!
I yield nothing.
A shortcut through space. Dark magic.
Weakling!
Armed and dangerous!
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
Yes. You sure are demanding for a disembodied cosmic voice.
Get back in action before I shut this whole thing down.
Healing power. This time I need healing.
Better stop that vehicle.
Cosmic light returns.
Yeah, I know. Stop scrolling and start moving, okay?
They're coming from behind.
We've made it halfway. Stop them.
Unite.
Disappear!
I'll win it! The cosmos heals. Cosmic light returns. Quantum magic. We are in this together. Some assistance, please.
You stopped them in their tracks.
Quantum magic. Dave, real hard. Never, never fall!
Only 60 seconds left.
Armed and dangerous!
When you two dated.
Magneto! Stand down! Again! Quantum magic. Again!
Down to 30 seconds.
Someone's messing with my head. Born again!
There's still a chance to stop them. Better stop that vehicle. The final 10 seconds.
I require some aid. Good stuff.
We'll have to keep fighting until we have winners.
I'm opening a portal.